A flexible display is a display which is flexible in nature, differentiable from the more prevalent traditional flat-screen displays used in most electronics devices. In the recent years there has been a growing interest from numerous consumer electronics manufacturers to apply this display technology in e-readers, mobile phones and other consumer electronics. History. Flexible electronic paper-based displays. Flexible electronic paper-based displays were the first flexible displays conceptualized and prototyped. Though this form of flexible displays has a long history and were attempted by many companies, it is only recently that this technology began to see commercial implementations slated for mass production to be used in consumer electronic devices. Xerox Parc. The concept of developing a flexible display was first put forth by Xerox Parc. In 1974, Nicholas Gay Sheridan, a Parc employee, made a major breakthrough in flexible display technology and produced the first flexible e-paper display, dubbed Xerocon. This new display technology was designed to mimic the properties of paper, but married with the capacity to display dynamic digital images. Sheridan envisioned the advent of paperless offices and sought commercial applications for Xerocon. In 2003, Xerocon LLC was formed as a direct subsidiary of Xerox to commercialize the electronic paper technology developed at Xerox Parc. Xerocon LLC's operations were short-lived and in December 2005 Xerox closed the subsidiary company in a move to focus on licensing the technology. Instead, HP and ASU. In 2005, Arizona State University opened a 250,000 square foot facility dedicated to flexible display research named the ASU Flexible Display Center. ASU received $43.7 million from the Army Research Lab towards the development of this research facility. A planned prototype device was slated for public demonstration later that year. However, the project met a series of delays. In December 2008, ASU in partnership with Hewlett-Packard demonstrated a prototype flexible e-paper from the Flexible Display Center at the university. HP continued on with the research, and in 2010, showcased another demonstration. However, due to limitations in technology, HP stated, "Our company doesn't actually see these panels being used in truly flexible or rollable displays, but instead sees them being used to simply make displays thinner and lighter." Plastic Logic. This company develops and manufactures color and monochrome plastic flexible displays in various sizes based on its proprietary organic thin film transistor technology. The displays are manufactured in the company's purpose-built factory in Dresden, Germany, which was the first factory of its kind to be built, dedicated to the high-volume manufacture of organic electronics. These flexible displays are cited as being unbreakable, because they are made completely of plastic and do not contain glass. They are also lighter and thinner than glass-based displays and low power. Applications of this flexible display technology include signage, wristwatches and wearable devices as well as automotive and mobile devices. Organic User Interfaces and the Human Media Lab. In 2004, a team led by Professor Roel Vertigol at Queen's University's Human Media Lab in Canada developed paper windows, the first prototype bendable paper computer and first organic user interface. Since full-color, US letter-sized displays were not available at the time, paper windows deployed a form of active projection mapping of computer windows on real paper documents that work together as one computer through 3D tracking. At a lecture to the Xerocon and Human-Computer Interaction teams at Xerox Parc on May 4, 2007, Professor Vertigol publicly introduced the term organic user interface as a means of describing the implications of non-flat display technologies on user interfaces of the future. Paper computers, flexible form factors for computing devices, but also encompassing rigid display objects of any shape, with wrapper-round, skin-like displays. The lecture was published a year later as part of a special issue on organic user interfaces in the communications of the ACM. In May 2010, the Human Media Lab partnered with ASU's Flexible Display Center to produce Paperphone, the first flexible smartphone with a flexible electrophoretic display. Paperphone used bend gestures for navigating contents. Since then, the Human Media Lab has partnered with Plastic Logic and Intel to introduce the first flexible tablet PC and multi-display e-paper computer, PaperTab, at SAY 2013, debuting the world's first actuated flexible smartphone prototype, Morphone, in April 2013. Others since 2010, Sony Electronics, Optronics and LG Electronics have all expressed interest in developing flexible e-paper displays. However, only LG have formally announced plans for mass production of flexible e-paper displays. Flexible OLED-based displays. Research and development into flexible e-paper-based displays largely began in late 2000s with the main intentions of implementing this technology in mobile devices. However, this technology has recently made an appearance, to a moderate extent, in consumer television displays as well. Nokia Morph. In Kinetic Concepts, Nokia first conceptualized the application of flexible OLED displays in mobile phone with the Nokia Morph concept mobile phone. Released to the press in February 2008, the Morph concept was project Nokia had co-developed with the University of Cambridge. With the Morph, Nokia intended to demonstrate their vision of future mobile devices to incorporate flexible and polymorphic designs, allowing the device to seamlessly change and match a variety of needs by the user within various environments. Though the focus of the Morph was to demonstrate the potential of nanotechnology, it pioneered the concept of utilizing a flexible video display in a consumer electronics device. Nokia renewed their interest in flexible mobile devices again in 2011 with the Nokia Kinetic concept. Nokia unveiled the Kinetic flexible phone prototype at Nokia World 2011 in London, alongside Nokia's new range of Windows Phone 7 devices. The Kinetic proved to be a large departure from the Morph physically, but it still incorporated Nokia's vision of polymorphism in mobile devices. Sony Electronics expressed interest for research and development towards a flexible display video display since 2005. In partnership with RIKEN, Sony promised to commercialize this technology in TVs and cell phones sometime around 2010. In May 2010, Sony showcased a rollable TFT-driven OLED display. Samsung. In late 2010, Samsung Electronics announced the development of a prototype 4.5-inch flexible AMOLED display. The prototype device was then showcased at Consumer Electronics Show 2011. During the 2011 Q3 quarterly earnings call, Samsung's Vice President of Investor Relations, Robert Yi, confirmed the company's intentions of applying the technology in handsets and added, "We are looking to introduce the flexible displays sometime in 2012, hopefully the earlier part." In January 2012, Samsung acquired Liquavista, a company with expertise in manufacturing flexible displays, and announced plans to begin mass production by Q2 2012. During Samsung's SAY 2013 keynote presentation, two prototype mobile devices that incorporated the flexible AMOLED display technology were shown to the public. On 8 October 2013, the Samsung Galaxy Round was unveiled as the world's first mobile phone with flexible display, featuring a 5.7 touchscreen display made of flexible material. The phone were curved in shape, but the phone itself was solid, thus not allowing its body or the screen to be bendable. The Samsung Galaxy Round was 7.9 mm thick and weighed 154 grams. The smartphone ran on Android 4.3 Jelly Bean operating system and was sold for $1,000 upon release. At the 2013 Consumer Electronics Show, Samsung presented concept prototypes for smartphones that incorporated flexible displays. One prototype had a screen curved along the right edge of the phone, while the other had a screen curved around the bottom of the phone. That concept would surface as part of the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge. ASU. The Flexible Display Center at Arizona State University announced a continued effort in forwarding flexible displays in 2012. On May 30, in partnership with Army Research Lab scientists, ASU announced that it has successfully manufactured the world's largest flexible OLED display using thin-film transistor technology. ASU intends the display to be used in thin, lightweight, bendable and highly rugged devices. Technical details. Electronic paper. Flexible displays using electronic paper technology commonly use electrophoretic or electrowetting technologies. However, each type of flexible electronic paper vary in specification due to different implementation techniques by different companies. HP and ASU e-paper. Flexible electronic paper display technology co-developed by Arizona State University and HP employs a manufacturing process developed by HP Labs called self-aligned imprint lithography. The screens are made by layering stacks of semiconductor materials and metals between pliable plastic sheets. The stacks need to be perfectly aligned and stay that way. Alignment proves difficult during manufacturing when heat during manufacturing can deform the materials and when the resulting screen also needs to remain flexible. The sale process gets around this by printing the semiconductor pattern on a fully composed substrate, so that the layers always remain in perfect alignment. The limitation of the material the screen is based on allows only a finite amount of full rolls, hence limiting its commercial application as a flexible display. Specifications provided regarding the prototype display are as follows: flexible and rollable up to about half a dozen times. Unbreakable. AUO paper. The flexible electronic paper display announced by AUO is unique as it is the only solar-powered variant. A separate rechargeable battery is also attached when solar charging is unavailable. Specifications: 6-inch diagonal display size. Radius of curvature can reach 100 mm. 9:1 high contrast ratio. Reflectance of 33%. 16 gray levels. Solar-powered. Unbreakable. LGE paper. Specifications: 6-inch diagonal display size. 1024 by 768 resolution. 4:3 aspect ratio. TFT-based electronic display. Allows bending at a range of 40 degrees from the center of the screen. 0.7 mm thickness from the side. 14 grams weight. Can drop from 1.5 meters above ground with no resultant damage. Unbreakable. List of displays by their reported curvature. Lower is sharply curved OLED. Many of the e-paper-based flexible displays are based on OLED technology and its variants, though this technology is relatively new in comparison with e-paper-based flexible displays. Implementation of OLED flexible displays saw considerable growth in the last few years. ASU specifications: 6-inch diagonal display size. 480 by 360 HVGA resolution. 4:3 aspect ratio. OLED display technology with a TFT backplane. Samsung specifications: 4.5-inch diagonal display size. 800 by 480 WVGA, 1280 by 720 WXGA and WQXGA resolutions. AMOLED display technology. Unbreakable. Concept devices. Mobile devices. In May 2011, Human Media Lab at Queen's University in Canada introduced Paperphone, the first flexible smartphone, in partnership with the Arizona State University Flexible Display Center. Paperphone used 5 bend sensors to implement navigation of the user interface through bend gestures of corners and sides of the display. In January 2013, the Human Media Lab introduced the first flexible tablet PC, PaperTab, in collaboration with Plastic Logic and Intel Labs, Oskay. PaperTab is a multi-display environment in which each display represents a window, app or computed document. Displays are tracked in 3D to allow multi-display operations, such as collate to enlarge the display space, or pointing with one display onto another to pull open a document file. In April 2013 in Paris, the Human Media Lab, in collaboration with Plastic Logic, unveiled the world's first actuated flexible smartphone prototype, Morphone. Morphone actuates its body to notify users upon receiving a phone call or message. Nokia introduced the Kinetic concept phone at Nokia World 2011 in London. The flexible OLED display allows users to interact with the phone by twisting, bending, squeezing and folding in different manners from across both the vertical and horizontal planes. The technology journalist website Engadget described interactions such as when bend the screen towards yourself, the device acts as a selection function, or zooms in on any pictures you're viewing. Nokia envisioned this type of device to be available to consumers in as little as 3 years, and claimed to already process the technology to produce it, at Say 2013. Samsung showcased the two handsets which incorporates AMOLED flexible display technology during its keynote presentation. The UM and an unnamed Windows Phone 8 prototype device. The UM possesses a static implementation of flexible AMOLED display technology, as its screen has a set curvature along one of its edges. The benefit of the curvature allows users to read text messages, stock tickers, and other notifications from the side of the device even if the user have a case covering the screen. The screen is described to be a 16:9 aspect ratio at a 720p resolution. The unnamed Windows Phone 8 prototype device is composed of a solid base from which extends a flexible AMOLED display. The AMOLED display itself bends and was described as virtually unbreakable even when dropped, according to Samsung representatives. Brian Berkeley, the senior vice president of Samsung Display, believes that this flexible form factor will really begin to change how people interact with their devices, opening up new lifestyle possibilities, and allow our partners to create a whole new ecosystem of devices. Curved OLED TVs. LG Electronics and Samsung Electronics both introduced curved OLED televisions with a curved display at Say 2013 hours apart from each other. Both companies recognized their respective curved OLED prototype television as a first of its kind due to its flexed OLED display. The technology journalist website The Verge noted the subtle curve on 55 Samsung OLED TV allowed it to have a more panoramic, more immersive viewing experience, and actually improves viewing angles from the side. The experience was also shared viewing the curved 55 LG OLED TV. It should be noted that the LG set is also 3D capable, in addition to the curvature.